The return policy was a trap. I was just scrolling through Instagram when the ad popped up. A model in a tan trench coat walked confidently through a London street. The caption read, "Luxury look, everyday price." I clicked. The website was clean, sleek. Everything looked straight off of Vogue spread-structured blazers, flowy dresses, minimalistic tops. The prices weren't dirt cheap, but definitely lower than high street brands. One dress was £28, the coat $42. Not too suspicious, just tempting. The biggest draw? Easy returns, no questions asked. It was plastered at the top of the homepage and again at checkout. I paused. This wasn't my usual behavior. I don't usually buy clothes online from unknown stores, but the reviews were glowing. Every item had 5 stars. Better than Zara. Came so fast. Great quality. I even searched the store name on Google. Their Trustpilot page showed mostly positive comments, though I didn't scroll very far. It all looked safe enough. So I placed an order, 1 coat, 2 dresses. Total came to just under £100 with free shipping. A steal for what looked like luxury fashion. I received a confirmation email almost immediately. Everything looked legit. Tracking number. Estimated delivery time. 6-8 business days. I even told a friend later that night, I think I just found a hidden gem. Looking back now, I realize I wasn't excited about the clothes, I was excited about the idea. The idea that maybe, just maybe, I'd outsmarted the system. That I'd found something stylish, affordable, and easy. But I hadn't outsmarted anything. I just walked right into the trap with my eyes wide open. A week later, the parcel arrived. A soft grey bag, thin and crumpled. No brand name, just my address in a shaky black font. I was still excited. I tore it open, expecting luxury on a budget. Instead, I pulled out disappointment. The coat looked nothing like the photo. Online, it had structure-tailored shoulders, neat stitching, a smooth, matte finish. In my hands, it was shapeless. Thin, the material felt like plastic. The inside lining was fraying. I held it up to the light and saw straight through it. Maybe the dresses would redeem it. The first one, a flowy red midi, was practically see-through. I turned it around in my hands. Loose threads dangled from the seams. The second dress was navy and ribbed. I slipped it over my head and got stuck halfway. It clung in all the wrong places and gaped in others. The sizing made no sense. This wasn't a bad fit. This was false advertising. I folded everything and went back to the website. The return policy was proudly displayed again. Easy returns, no questions asked. But this time, I clicked the link. It opened a paragraph buried at the bottom of a long FAQ page. There was no return form, no return label, just a single email address and vague instructions. To request a return, please contact customer service within 7 days of receiving your order. I clicked the Chat Now button on the site. A message box popped up, but no one replied. I waited. Nothing. I refreshed the page. Tried again. Still no response. I sent an email. No auto reply. No ticket number. Just silence. I scrolled the page again. No UK return address. No company registration number. My stomach sank. I glanced at the clock on my wall. It had already been 4 days since the parcel arrived, and the return window was closing fast. On day 5, I finally got an email. Dear customer, please provide clear pictures of the items showing the problem. No greeting, no name, just that. I took photos. The coat lying flat, wrinkled beyond saving. The red dress shelled up to the window to show how sheer it was. The navy dress scrunched and misshapen, with the tag still attached. I sent them all. A day later, another reply came. Please tell us your reason for return. I blinked at the screen. Wasn't it supposed to be no questions asked? Still, I answered politely. Items do not match product images or descriptions. Quality is very poor. One dress is see-through, another is ill-fitting. Another day passed. Then a third message, returns only accepted if item is in original condition and has not been tried on. I read it again, then again. Not tried on? How are you supposed to know something doesn't fit if you haven't tried it on? I checked the return policy again. It didn't say anything about that. Just vague lines like, all items must be returned in resellable condition. What does resellable mean? No stains? No creases? No contact with human skin? I emailed back, items were only tried briefly to assess fit. Tags are still on. No damage. No response. I messaged through their contact form again. Silence. Day 7 came. I sent another message, this time firmer. Under UK consumer rights, I'm entitled to a refund for goods that are misrepresented or faulty. Nothing. It was like shouting into a well. The deeper I went, the more lost I felt. They weren't going to help. They were stalling, waiting out the clock, letting the return window close while pretending to review my case. The more I thought about it, the clearer it became. This wasn't a bad business. It was a scam in a pretty dress. By now, I was fed up but not ready to give up. I started digging. Deep in the FAQ page, halfway down a long block of text, I found it: all returns must be shipped to our overseas facility. The return address? Shenzhen, China. I checked the Royal Mail website. Tracked shipping to China would cost over $25. I blinked. I'd spent $38 on the clothes. Returning them would cost me more than keeping them. Still, I emailed again. I'd like a full refund. The items are not as described. This time, they replied faster. We are sorry you are unhappy. We can offer you 20% refund as a gift. A gift? I scrolled past the offer. No mention of a full refund. No mention of return instructions. Just the gift. I wrote back, no thank you. I want a full refund. Another reply, returns can be accepted if customer pays for shipping. Refund will be processed once we receive and inspect items. There it was, the final piece. They didn't want the clothes back. They didn't expect returns. They'd made it just hard enough, just vague enough to make people give up. And many probably did. They'd lured me in with shiny photos and the words, easy returns. But buried in the fine print and delays was the truth. It was never meant to be easy. It was meant to sound easy. That night, I stayed up searching. I typed the website name into Reddit. Immediately posts, dozens, all with titles like, is this site a scam? Beware no refunds from this company. Anyone actually returned something and got their money back? I clicked through one after another. Different people, different countries, same experience. They'd seen the Instagram ad. They'd bought a coat or a dress. They'd been promised easy returns. Then, silence, delays, vague replies, and gifts instead of refunds. One comment said, they're just hoping you'll give up. Another said, they stall until the return window expires, then ghost you. I found the company on Trustpilot, at least one version of it. 1.8 stars. Hundreds of reviews saying the same thing. Then I saw something that made my stomach drop. Someone mentioned the site had changed names 3 times in the last year. New logo, new colors, same clothes, same scam. A clever cycle, launch site. Flood it with fake 5-star reviews, lure shoppers, delay, deny, disappear, rebrand. I searched the return address. A review thread popped up with dozens of similar boutiques, all shipping from the same warehouse in China. None of them were real brands. They just looked like brands. My cart had been filled with lies. I leaned back and sighed. I felt foolish, embarrassed, angry with myself. But also, I didn't feel alone anymore. So many people had walked the same path. So many had fallen for the same ad. It wasn't stupidity, it was design. That gave me a little peace, because now I knew this wasn't just about a coat. This was about learning how scams look today. It wasn't about the money anymore. Yes, I lost nearly 40 quid, but that wasn't what kept me up. It was the shame. I kept asking myself, how did I fall for this? I'm usually so careful. I check return policies. I read reviews. But this one? It was clever. They didn't wave red flags. They tucked them away neatly, subtly, behind glossy photos and glowing 5-star reviews. It didn't feel like a scam. It felt like bad luck until it kept happening to people just like me. And that's what stung the most. It wasn't carelessness. It was trust. And they knew exactly how to earn it and how to exploit it. For a few days, I didn't talk about it. I didn't want anyone to know I'd been tricked. I felt naive, silly, like I should have known better. But then I remembered the reviews I'd read online, hundreds of others, all burned the same way. They weren't stupid either. They were just honest people who believed what they saw. That's when the shame started to lift. Because hiding wasn't helping anyone. So I started talking. I posted about it on Facebook. Told friends in group chats, if you ever buy from a new site, check where the return address is. Read more than the first page of reviews. Some are fake. I learned the traps are designed to sound fair until you try using them. No questions asked means nothing if you're met with silence. Fast and easy returns means nothing if you're told to ship to a warehouse 60 miles away. Now, when friends mention new online shops, I say, check the real policy. Look beyond the homepage. Search the brand with the word scam next to it. It doesn't make me feel paranoid, it makes me feel wiser. Because the truth is, if you've been burned, you either stay silent or you help someone else not get burned next. Now, I shop differently. I don't chase the cheapest deal. I choose trust websites I know, even if they cost more. If it looks too good, I pause. I check the return policy before I even look at what they're selling. Not the banner that says, easy returns, the actual text. I scroll down to the fine print. I look for physical addresses. If the return location is in Shenzhen but the ad said UK-based, I walk away. I test email replies before I buy anything now. If I get no answer, that's my answer. It's not just about the money anymore. It's about peace of mind. Because scams don't always take your money up front. Sometimes, they take it through the back door by tricking you into believing you can get it back. They make you feel in control until you try to use that control and find it was never real. Now, I help friends avoid that trap. When someone sends a link, I ask, did you check the return policy? When a cousin was about to order from a too perfect site, I stopped her. We searched together. We found a Reddit thread full of warnings. That coat she wanted? It would have been the same thin knockoff I got. I still have that coat, folded in the back of my wardrobe. I keep it on purpose. It's a reminder, not just of what I lost, but of what I learned. I never got my full refund, but I got smarter. Now I tell people, I didn't lose £60, I paid $60 for a lesson and now I teach it for free. Moral lesson. If a return policy looks too easy, it's probably not real. Read the fine print. Check where returns go. Ask questions before you buy. Subscribe for real scam stories that keep you sharp. Follow for more tales that teach, warn, and empower.